We got a lot of pro players here from a lot of different teams looking to navigate the newest update in Pokemon Unite with all the patches and whatnot. I mean, you just saw the names of a lot of these players right here. You're about to see how they all play together because these are not the teams that they're usually all on. There's hardly any similarities in them, as in like it's all mix and match. But we got OG was taken right here as the Lucario. Lucario feeling the E-Speed damage debuff. So I know that they took down E-Speed quite a bit, and so mostly we'll call the match play-by-play, add a little bit of color per usual. But I do just kind of want to get into a little bit of what I know about the update, what I've heard from people, maybe the limited stuff that I've observed so far. It's only been about a day and a half since that update. Look at all this craziness already on the bottom lane, ladies and gentlemen. But we got Rima right here playing as that Hoopa. Yes, Hoopa gonna be changed up a little bit. These are actually changes that make me happy because this would be how I would play Hoopa personally. It seems like Trick, you know, a little bit less viable. That's the one that got the nerf. They did give a small nerf to Shadow Ball just slightly, and Phantom Force got just a little bit of a boost. But what I really care about is the hyperspace hole, and so that's what I'm hoping to see from our Hoopa players today. I always love to see, especially a 5-stack. I love to see any teams that can use that all together. So that's what I'll be looking for. That's what I play, and that Chansey is out of there for Orange Squad. So Purple looking really good, poised in position really nicely for this early game. Look at this. Now Orange, they have a few members falling like flies, very close for Zeraora right there, and we can see that Zeraora is brought to a little bit more prevalency. I don't think it's changed dramatically from what I know, and again, this is one area where I'm certainly willing to admit that I may not have all of the information here, just because everything's too early, and I feel like they didn't even talk about every last aspect of the patch. I mean, like, we had the experience bug, right? You know, about getting experience overall. It seems like getting experience from, like, wild Pokemon has just essentially been a little bit harder for a lot of people. That's kind of what I've been seeing on Twitter, at least from everybody that's a pro player. But I hope you guys noticed, actually, we had Colin Tang there on the Orange Squad. He is actually still in the central area right now because obviously that experience, hard to come by. A lot of the times, you know, your jungle, your central area, they've rotated by this point, at least how meta was going. But yeah, Talonflame, seeing the Brave Bird decrease, that's just the damage decrease. The same thing goes with Flame Sweep, but they also made the cooldown a little bit worse, so you can't just Flame Sweep spam. I know a lot of people who had bad matchups against Talonflame are happy about this. Look at that, Hoopa putting down the hyperspace hole on Orange. Not enough time at all, man, trying to stand there and just pray. It's kind of one of those things, you know, you kind of accept your fate if it's been that long and just hope that maybe you teleport with that last little sliver, but no, they were taken out. And we do see Rima pulling off the hyperspace hole here today, so this is nice. I'm gonna see double hyperspace hole on these teams as we get the sandwich KO on Zeraora. It's not looking wonderful for Orange Squad at the moment. You never want to count anybody out, especially at this stage, although we gotta see how this patch affects everybody, all these updates. Trevenant, the tree. I have to be the one who coined saying tree, you know, calling it tree. Now that's a quote I took from Thor, and I guess I got that from Avengers Infinity War. You know, the whole "this is a friend of mine" tree. But yeah, my video on Trevenant launch day, that was the one calling it tree. So here we go. Bottom path is seeing a lot of action. Rima still taken down a lot by this fly, and that's what Colin Tang is all about. I mean, his team actually is the Brave Birders, but with how much I have seen Colin Tang using fly, it is just devastating, and I feel like their team could actually change their name away from Brave Birders, especially after the recent update too. So I'm hoping it doesn't affect Colin Tang's mental game here too much, but maybe not where it matters for Colin Tang. No, trying to come in and fly actually on the objective, so the Dreadnought is going to go to purple, but not successful, of course, for Orange. Colin Tang sent on the run right here. We got IX Mitsu, the Greninja, putting in work after the Water Burst Shuriken, but wow, I mean, that fly still does massive amounts. And then Froy with the tree, ladies and gentlemen. So Trevenant, I mean, we've reworked a lot. I know that Branch Poke got a lot of different changes, and it restores HP too, but like Curse, you know, you're going to increase damage to the opponents, and I believe it's Unite move, the Phantom Forest, that actually got a cooldown decrease. And so I know another thing just on Twitter that I'm hearing in the space is just that people are saying, wow, like there's a tree in every game now. So yeah, Trevenant brought into a little bit more relevancy, right? That's what I'm hoping to see. I want to see a little bit more of my tree friend, as Froy is just going mad. I mean, Froy has used this actually pre-update, pre-patch and everything too. I would say definitely some avail. And that's Pikachu, Nemo. I think this is Infamous Gaming, INF. Nemo is deadly. Was certainly like in the top, what, 70, 50? Back in the last season at least. And so nice. Trevenant, this Horn Leech. I remember when Trevenant first came out, I was a little bit upset because that Horn Leech was so slow, and now we're going to lose Blissey on the Orange Squad. This goal only has 2 left. Obviously, Froy not going to score that with the 3, so, you know, that wouldn't be much of an overdunk. But look at this. That Horn Leech is just bringing people right where you want them. Purple Squad is just making work out of all of this. And Froy, once again, with that Horn Leech, it's just scary. Because you really have the advantage of, like, Blastoise's Surf, for instance. That's what I used to love, is that it was just a faster version of pushing them around. But at least Horn Leech, you're going to get some of the leech out of that name, right? Nightmare, pretty good player right here. also going up against OG was taking another wonderful player. We got to see if these Lucario's duking it out. You know, Lucario's still probably top tier, of course. Some people in the space, wow, oh my gosh, Zero Aura is out of there. Froy, you are a madman with the Phantom Forest. That is going to turn this around. Just when you think Froy is out of there, no, he's going to take the Citrus, he's going to Horn Leech, he's going to Phantom Forest. I mean, this was all about Froy and his positioning, keeping everybody off of that goal, allowing them to at least overcap a little bit. We know that that bottom path goal, it only had like 2 or 3 left, and so we can go ahead and do the song and dance, right, Froy? Waiting for this Dreadnought to show up, so look at this. That's Froy from Stamina. If you're wondering about that STMN, Froy with a team called Stamina. I've been seeing them a lot in the Victory Road Unite tournaments, which I cast every single last Sunday of the month. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be yet another objective and another small victory here for the Purple Squad. If you want to even call them small victories, we got a lot of these Aos energy here on the ground, so definitely some battles been taking place right there that maybe we haven't gotten to spectate this whole time. There we go. We got the next wild Pokemon, more of a mass spawn with that Combee and Vespiquen combo. Good job. OG was taken. Gonna bring them down still with the E-Speed despite the updates. We're here to try to analyze that stuff. I mean, really just a bigger patch update than a lot of the previous ones, and so in some respects we like to see it, but I think in other respects it kind of depends on who you play, right? Because some people are like, my Pokemon just got ruined, and that's one thing about Pokemon Unite. You know, a patch could come in and just wreck you. There's the hyperspace hold down right there. It looks like Froy, he'll go ahead and take this. Not gonna teleport back. Okay, wow. That was sort of interesting. We thought that he was for a second, and Mitsu gonna try to bring down Colin Tang, who does use the Flame Sweep and misses just barely. Like, that was super close, and then he's gonna land on the fly. Colin Tang gonna actually bring down Greninja right here on the top path and then score in this massive 40. That's gonna bring that score gap much closer. This is something that Orange was definitely looking for, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna see a few more fall. A lot of people down on their last legs too. We're likely gonna see a few more drop here, and this is where some more Unite moves are gonna come out. That Phantom Forest just devastating Froy. I cannot believe it. I really want to see what you guys' comments are gonna be on this video, especially about Froy. Look at this. The tricky Trevenant, man. It's gonna go ahead and throw down this curse right here, backed up by Rima. This is gonna be a pretty nice team. When you've got Hoopa and you've got Tree right there, you can hyperspace hold. They're gonna go ahead, actually not go back to it, and in retrospect, that probably was the right choice not to teleport back right there. You wouldn't have any of like the ground game advantage and stuff. Lucario, that was Nightmare about to score for Orange. That would have been a really nice overdunk for them. This is nice though to get in this too, because that's obviously not gonna break that goal when it's got 14, but you do not want this to happen, Nightmare. So Orange's Lucario losing a lot of points right there. And again, as we get closer to that final stretch, like I was saying, you do not want that to happen, especially. I mean, nobody likes to be KO'd, right? But if there's a time for it, this is pretty painful because, you know, you start to fill your pockets up during these last kind of 30 seconds, 45 seconds before the final stretch, and you're at the impasse of whether you score during that point or you wait for that like exact second for the final stretch to actually take place. That was very nice though for Orange Squad. They are still in this, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna actually see now also the levels. Earlier it was kind of a heavier advantage for Purple, but now you're seeing them start to drop, making it clear, of course, what I'm about to say about the levels is that being that they're a lot more even, sometimes they're gonna catch each other where, you know, their level 13s are gonna take on their level 12s or something, maybe even the 11s, and bring them down. So this is what Orange wanted. As far as close games go, I mean, this is actually pretty nice because you're just really within striking distance, especially when you've got the final stretch now, but you really only just need a little bit over 20, and then you're gonna take the lead if you're Orange Squad. And so Zap, maybe that's gonna be the play, but really people don't need it quite yet. I mean, we gotta, the fights are all spread out. Rima actually gonna pop the rings unbound and then actually go down from Colin Tang, who pulls out the Flame Sweep as well. Froy is gonna say, I'm not going down right here, just like that. Pull the reversal, also had the Phantom Forest, but meanwhile, a lot of Orange was gathered into that center where the Legendary Pit is, and they're bringing down Zapdos. This is now like 75% gone, 90% gone. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be right side team. So yes, that is Orange Squad taking advantage right there. It's just like that. You had a few of Purple Squad's members fall, but you also had a diversion for the other ones. And so now Rima, that lone Hoopa, left to pick up the pieces right here. You gotta defend against these, but how? This is going to be very tough. And so Orange actually, though, one thing that we could say that's in Purple's favor, maybe we should mention, is just that, you know, we're seeing like a few full pockets from Orange, but they weren't all those hundo burgers. Some of them just AO sliders and things. Technical terms, I know. And so yes, Purple Squad, it says don't give up. That is true, although it's getting a little bit tougher. This is good. Bring down Nightmare right now. You really have to move fast though. I mean, not only just because of the time, you know, we see that we have 50 seconds, but also because you want to take advantage before the respawn timers. For Orange Squad, you know, they have 18 seconds and then about 25, 24. For Lucario, you really got to get in there. You really got to get to those goals and you got to score somewhere. And with all point values doubled, I mean, it would be really nice to have some full pockets, but currently only it's just Rima right now with that 50. And so we are desperately going to need a lot of Purple Squad right now. And then look at this. We got Orange Hoopa back there. Going to go ahead and back cap 32. So that might actually secure Orange's victory. We're not quite sure yet. There's going to be the fly. There's another flame sweep. Despite the patch, Talonflame can still use that flame sweep a decent bit, I would say. But yep, there is the Hoopa scoring back there for Orange. This is going to be a lot harder for Purple now. I don't think it can happen. We are about to hit that last 10 seconds. There's a 32 from Freud. Somebody would have to score in both of those 50s right now. And even then, do we have a victory on our hands? But look at this. This has got to feel painful, man. If you were Purple, you were ahead for most of that battle. I think we need to see what the score breakdown says, but more importantly, we need to see what the battle data and review the battle, all of that says. So, Purple Squad gonna take the L at 306 to Orange's 598. Wonderful job by King Rosario, that Hoopa. That was for Orange, but you also see Nightmare with that 182 wearing the crown. So when we review the battle data, you can really hone in on what I just said earlier, is just up until like the 8-minute mark, and even a little bit after maybe, Purple was ahead and kept that victory going, and then it was just really during that last, of course the zap play affected things, but man, even the macro, the micro afterwards, looking good if you're Orange team. If you like esports Pokemon Unite commentary featuring the pros, subscribe, click an end screen to see another one. I'll catch you guys on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.